Are you having problems winning in Pokémon Unite? Hopefully, after this video, you can immediately improve your gameplay and win more matches. I'll be your host Schnidog, and without further ado, let's get into tip number 1. The first tip I will provide, while it might seem simple, but most time players often overlook or don't even know is the settings. I highly recommend going over your settings and adjusting them to whatever feels right for you. What I would suggest might not fit to your style of play, so I highly recommend going through each and every setting, as Pokemon Unite has tons of settings to go through. After you try certain settings, go to practice, try them out, and see if it works for you. Also, since you are practicing settings, this would be a perfect time to test out all the Pokemon in the game to see which ones you like and dislike. This is basically killing two birds with one stone. I will go over this now, that way later on in the video it will make more sense when I provide other tips. So for the second tip, we will go over different types of Pokemon and how to use them. This will be very straightforward breakdown, as they can definitely be a video within itself. I just want to give a basic rundown of what you should be doing as certain types of Pokemon. So in the game, they have Supporter, All-Rounder, Attacker, Defender, and Speedster. These roles are just as literal as they sound. We'll start with Supporter. Generally they will go bottom lane, but they can go top lane. The role is pretty literal, as Supporter you'll be supporting your Attacker / All-Rounder. You will try to keep them safe, alive, and give them tons of XP. Next up is All-Arounders. This is probably the most complex role of the game, as they fit into several roles depending on the situation. They could be an Attacker, or Defender, or Speedster. Not so much a Supporter though. A nifty thing about All-Arounder is they can generally go in any lane. They can go bottom, top, or even jungle. However, you generally want to go bottom as this role type. Your job as an All-Rounder is to fill in what is not on your team, except for Supporter. Next up is Attacker. Basically, you want to stay behind your support or your defender and just attack away to annihilate your opponent and try to deal as much damage as possible. Next is Defender. Again, very literal with the names, as you'll be defending here. What you want to do is to defend your goal and your ally that will be doing the damage. You'll want to control the battlefield by moving the enemies around, that way your allies can go score on goals or defend your goal long enough for backup to arrive. You can play either lane, but I generally see them go to top lane. Last and not least is Speedster. This should be the jungler. They can go to a lane, but primarily you want them to jungle, as they are the fastest ones on the team. Your main focus should be farming kills in the jungle and leveling up as soon as possible. That way, you can go and help where you are needed, whether that be top or bottom lane. As you help with either lane, then you need to leave and help with the other lane. You need to be quick and decisive as a Speedster / jungler. That wraps up all Pokemon Unite class types. Let's move on to tip number 3. Last hit. Last hit is where you get the last hit on any Pokemon. Last hit grants most of the experience for the kill, so try and let your attacker of the lane get last hit. Later in the game, a level 15 attacker will be a lot more useful than a level 15 supporter or defender. Now, there is contested and uncontested scenarios that you have to consider. When you are attacking a wild Pokemon, it is just you and your ally. Always let the attacker of the lane get the last hit. However, if you are in a contested battle, try to defeat the Pokemon, that way your team will get the experience. I will show this clip to further demonstrate. Tip number 4, you need to participate in team battles. I cannot stress this enough, meaning Rotom, Drednaw mainly, and only attack Zapdos when needed. I will go over Zapdos later on in the video. I will start off with Drednaw, because I believe these battles to be the most important. Not only does your entire team gain a shield, you also get tons of experience, which is crucial to win those team battles. If you are level 10 and your enemy is level 8, it makes those team battles that much easier. You can take them down and then proceed to take out the opposing team's goals. I will even go as far to say, if you win the Drednaw battle against your opponent, then you will generally always win the match. Drednaw is that important, which is why I would suggest when Drednaw appears for either the jungler or a person from the top lane to head down and help take down Drednaw. Keep 2 up top, the other 3 should be down taking down Drednaw. Drednaw will spawn with 7 minutes left into the match. Knowing that, you can plan accordingly to head down to help with that fight. Once Drednaw is defeated, I would suggest going as a team to take down the bottom goal and then head back up to the top if you are a top laner, or head back to the jungle if you are a jungler. Number 5, which kind of bases on the same thing with team battles here, but let's talk about Rotom. Rotom is not near as important as Drednaw, but is still a great battle to win. It is basically a nerfed version of Zapdos. Rotom goes to the opposing team's goal once defeated and is an insta-dunk on their goal. The only time I would say Rotom is more important than Drednaw is if you can secure a Rotom right before the 2-minute mark in the game. When there is only 2 minutes left, Zapdos appears and Rotom and Drednaw despawn. With that said, if you can secure a Rotom right before 2 minutes, then you can get an instant dunk with double the points. When you go under 2 minutes, all points are double for the rest of the match. At this point, you could have a lot of Aeos energy piled up, and with this rotom, you could easily score 2 times the points and destroy an enemy goal. Tip number 6. Basically team battles here. Last and foremost is Zapdos. I really feel like this could be a video within itself on when to go and not go for Zapdos. If you would like a video on this, let me know down in the comment section below. I will still give a brief detail on Zapdos as I feel it is necessary and a big tip to help win matches. Now, depending on how the game is going, really depends on if you should go for Zapdos. While yes, they may seem like common sense, but you see players all the time go for Zapdos when it is not required. Why? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe to rip the score in your face, maybe because they feel like they need the win, when really you don't. I've never really known. I will say, if you have a comfortable lead, then do not go for Zapdos. What you want to do in this situation is defend Zapdos. What do I mean by that, you might ask? Basically, if the opposing team is going to take down Zap, then you will want to fend them off by killing the opposing team and not attacking Zapdos. When it is this late in the game, the spawn times are really high and generally can't spawn back in time to take down Zap and still score to win. If you can successfully defend Zap in this situation, it is a guaranteed win. Now, when to take down Zapdos is very simple. If you're losing badly, then it is a must go for Zapdos. At this point, it's a do or die. You will surely lose if you don't get Zap. Once you take down Zapdos, your whole team gains 20 Aeos energy, and whoever dealt the final blow gets 40. Not only do you get Aeos energy, it is also like Rotom, where it is an insta-duck on the opposing team's goals, and since it's under 2 minutes, you get double the points. But also, unlike Rotom, it's not going to be just the top lane, it's going to be every single goal that the opposing team has. So you can easily make a comeback if you can successfully take down Zapdos and win the team fight. A little bonus tip I will provide for Zapdos is hide in the bushes and let everyone else attack Zapdos. As you see Zapdos is almost finished, come out and use your Unite move to steal the kill. I've done this countless times and gotten wins from it. It is a small little strategy to do if you are down big and you're not strong enough to win the team fight. Tip number 7. Another useful thing that Unite offers that I don't believe most utilize most of the time is the mini-map. I'll keep this one short and sweet. What you want to look for in the mini-map is where wild Pokemon are and where your opponents are. That way you can correlate an attack or to go score a goal. The small little yellow dots are where wild Pokemon are. The Pokemon icons indicate where your allies and opponents are. You can also see when Drednaw, Rotom, and Zapdos will spawn with the countdown timer on the map. Something else that should be mentioned with this tip is along the top left by the mini-map, you can see icons of your teammates, and the top right you can see the icons of your opposing team. With the teammates, it will show how much life they have left, which can be nice to know in certain situations. Maybe they need help in a big team battle, and you can go help them. What's more useful is seeing the opposing team's icon. It shows you a countdown timer of when they will respawn. This is crucial for deciding when and when not to head for a goal to score. Tip number 8. Something else I feel that goes unnoticed or others just don't know about is knowing when to go to home base. I am also victim to not utilizing this, especially when the jump pad is active. You can hold down on the D-pad and teleport home. This does 2 things. This fully heals you and allows you to jump to the base where you are needed. If you are losing a team battle and you know you will lose, there is no shame in teleporting to home base to recover quickly, then use the jump pad to get right back to the heat of battle. Doing this can get your team back on track by winning that team battle and leveling up by defeating the other team. Another scenario is you notice on your minimap a team battle is happening on the opposite lane. You can then proceed to head to the home base, heal, then jump to the other lane to help out in the team battle, as teleporting and jumping to the base will be faster than walking there depending where you are on the map. Just use your best judgment. If you're somewhat close to the team fight, then head there, but also keep your health in mind. If you do need to rejuvenate, please, teleport, heal up, and then go to the team fight. Tip number 9. This might be one of the most important tips of the game. It's overextending. I see all the time players will overextend and die, and that sets you up for failure. What do I mean? Let me explain. What I see far too often at the very beginning of the match is that they will go and try to score an opposing team's goal right away. And with the opposing team guarding their goal, you will 99% of the time lose this battle. It is not necessary to score that measly 10 points that early on in the game. Sit back, gain some XP, then go with your ally to win a team battle that is not in their goal zone. I highly never recommend fighting in the enemy territory, as you generally lose those fights unless you are 2 levels above them. When you fight in their goal, they have access to gaining life and being able to move faster in the speed zone. You will generally never win these. Other scenario I see far too often is when you destroy their first goal, you immediately go for the second one. Do not do that, as they will generally spawn very quickly this early on in the match, and they will ambush you, kill you, and then they will gain experience from killing you, which then you're basically diminishing everything you've done so far. Instead, what I would recommend is after taking down the first goal is to go to the opposite lane you're in and take down the first goal. You will generally win the team battle doing so and gain a lot of experience from it. They will no longer have their fruit to heal up, and you can further advance above your opponent that way. When you go for the second goal, you will be a higher level than them for you to destroy them. My final tip for this video will be about scoring. When to score and when not to score. As we know, scoring is how you win in Pokemon Unite. However, there are times when we need to be more mindful of when to score and not to score. Allow me to explain, as I feel like this can be pretty complex. Firstly, you want to be mindful of how much energy you have left to destroy a goal. Let's say your teammate has 50 Aeos energy and you have 10. The goal has 8 energy to break. What would you do? Would you score your 10 and break the goal, or let your allies score? The answer is to let your allies score and defend them, as getting that 50 points is going to be a lot more beneficial than your 10, especially when your 10 will break the goal. Now let's say it has 11 energy. Then by all means, score your 10 and let your teammate with 50 break the goal zone. Basically saying, be mindful of who should score to gain the most out of it. While yes, we all want to be MVP, but why be MVP on a losing team when you can work together and get that dub? Your team will appreciate that and see you as a better player and give you the GGs at the end of the game. As far as when to score, we pretty much went over that already with the previous tips. All I will say is just be self-conscious when approaching enemy territory to score a goal and keep all other tips in mind. Well, that is my tips and tricks on how to get better in Pokemon Unite. I really hope these help you in one way or another. If they did help, make sure to like and subscribe for more, as I do stream Pokemon Unite quite often. If there is any questions I did not answer or any tips I did not mention, please write them down in the comments section below, as so we can help out fellow trainers. But until next time guys, peace out.